Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be unboxing the Hexclad HC7 7-piece cookware set. Of all the preset Hexclad packages that are available, in my opinion, this one is the best value. If you watch this video, you'll see exactly what you get in the package. So you ready? Let's get into this. This is the Hexclad HC7 Hybrid Stainless Pan Set. The first thing you'll notice is this box is pretty gorgeous. These little hexagon shapes are all over the box all the way around, and it's the exact same pattern that's actually on the pans. You'll be able to see that a lot better when we get this thing open, and I'll explain what those are all about at the same time. As far as the box goes, all we really need to talk about on the outside is right here. And this is what you get in your 7-piece set. As far as your pans go, you get an 8, 10, and 12-inch fry pan, and in addition to that, you get a 12-inch wok. Those are your 4 pans, and the other 3 parts to the set are all lids. Obviously, those lids are 8, 10, and 12-inch. The 12-inch lid most likely works on both the 12-inch fry pan and the 12-inch wok as well. This is the main reason why I think this set is such a good value. The 8, 10, and 12-inch pans are easily the most popular ones that are going to be in your kitchen, and the addition of a wok really does make it that much more compelling. If that lid does fit on the wok, it's going to be really great because that'll mean that every pan in the set has a way to cover your food. And what the hell's that noise? You know, for a small dog, that is some impressive snoring. I think we're just gonna have to continue with that in the background because I really don't have the heart to wake her up. Okay, let's get this thing open. This is exciting. I've always wanted to test out Hexclad pans, and I've had an awful lot of people ask me about these. I'm a big Gordon Ramsay fan, and he is the spokesperson for these. That doesn't mean they're gonna be good or anything like that, but you know, I like Gordon Ramsay, so that's just good marketing on their part whenever they connect themselves to a guy like that, because people that like him are gonna just give the pans a chance, aren't they? But the thing that really strikes me about these is that, at least in pictures, these things are really, really great looking. Can't wait to see them. Okay, let's see what we have here. Welcome to the hybrid revolution. All right, you got some contact information over here, and we have a little bit of information about the Hexclad technology right here. This is a pictorial representation of the pattern that does have a lot to do with how this works, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. The big selling points of Hexclad are that they're supposed to be able to do a lot of things really well, hence the word hybrid. They say you can use them as a traditional non-stick pan, that they're as durable and oven safe as cast iron, which I really have a hard time believing. They have the searing power and metal utensil safety of stainless steel, which is something I'm going to challenge also, because stainless steel really isn't all that metal utensil safe. If you own stainless steel pans and metal utensils, you're going to know that if you're not careful, you can put a lot of micro scratching into the surface of your stainless steel. That's the nature of stainless steel. It's not the hardest metal in the world, and it can scratch. Just remember, just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean it's the smartest thing to do. And then you have the Hexclad hybrid claims. So what they're saying is that you get all the advantages of all these different types of pans rolled up into one, including being dishwasher safe, oven safe up to 500 degrees, and they can be cleaned with steel wool. We'll also be talking about that in a little bit too. Okay, let's get this opened up even more. And what is this? You got your little booklet in the shape of a hexagon. Go figure. Okay, there's some instructions on how to season a pan. That's actually good information to know. Different heat levels that you should use for different types of food. This is also going to depend on what you're cooking on as well. It's not just pans. For instance, if you're cooking on gas, it's not going to be the same as on radiant heat, and that's not going to be the same as on induction. So remember, if you're reading something like this, it's meant to be a guide, it's not scripture. And over here, you get some performance tips for your pans to get the most out of them. Other than that, that's all she wrote. Okay, what are these? This looks like one of our lids. Well, I like the way these are packaged, because this is the first time I've seen a package for a lid with something that comes over to protect the handle. There's been more than a few sets that I bought in the past that The pans and then the surfaces all looked really great, but when you pulled these out of the box, the handles were all messed up because they rubbed on the inside of the box for however many thousands of miles they were sitting on a truck for. The fact that they got that is a very, very welcome thing. Ooh, that's a nice lid. Just to let you know, this is heavy. A lot heavier than I thought. Good thick glass. Nice rivets on the handles. Looks like a stainless steel rim. And unlike a lot of glass lids, you do have a pressure relief hole here. And then it's 8.5 inches, but that would be for the 8-inch pan. We'll get that in a second. That's a pan. This is our next lid. Packaged the same way. Yep. Digging it. Okay. Is that 12-inch? Yep. That's a 12-inch lid, and that actually is 12 inches. Same design. Obviously a lot heavier. All the pans look like they come wrapped in their own bags. That is something I really appreciate. Granted, you're probably never going to use this bag again, unless of course you're storing these in your cabinet, which would give it a nice way to keep these from getting ruined. Oh, that's nice. This would be your 12-inch wok. You can see it does have a flat bottom to it. If I turn this over, you can see that it is flat right here. This is by design. It has to be this way because it wouldn't work on an induction cooktop if it didn't. You can see the Hexclad logo and the word Hexclad is kind of etched in here. And this is really, really great. You can see that entire Hexclad design all over the bottom of the pan. It's got the polished stainless rim here, a nice rolled edge to it right here, so it makes it easier to pour out of this. Good riveted handles on here. No visible scratches or anything like that on here as well. And you've got some interesting things going on with the pattern right here. You can see the Hexclad pattern comes all the way up to right here, and then it kind of changes a little bit. So let's talk about this Hexclad design and why it looks like this. Number one, I like that it looks like this because I think it's awesome. The darker color in the voids is the non-stick surface. That's actually non-toxic, non-Teflon ceramic coating. Everywhere where you see the lighter colors, which basically is the hexagon shapes and all the dots, those are slightly raised up. A lot of the patterns down here are just made up of little dots, and if you go up the rim a little bit, you can see that the edges of the hexagons are actually solid steel. That's why they say you can use metal utensils on this, is because technically when you're using them, you should just be hitting those dots and the lines and skipping the surface of the nonstick altogether. I would challenge that though, because if you're scratching hard enough or you're using a fork or something like that, you're going to get in between those and you're going to hit that surface. So I'm going to kind of call bullshit on that a little bit, because definitely you can ruin a ceramic coated surface if you want to. This will make it more durable, but it's not going to make it bomb proof. So let's just get that out of the way altogether. You got a nice stainless rim on here. These pans are made of 2 layers of stainless steel with a layer of aluminum sandwiched in between for heat disbursement. They're supposed to be pretty good at that. Can't wait to try that out. You saw the bottom already, but that is the same exact pattern. That's how it looks with the lid. Pretty cool. Okay, let's move on to the next pan. Okay, this is the 8-inch fry pan. Same deal, all the same construction, same pattern. Everything else that I said about them is exactly the same. You got the logo and the word Hexclad on the back. So we don't need to go into all those same details again. Just note this is the exact same type of pan, except this is an 8-inch fry pan. There's no visible scratches or any imperfections or anything on this pan, so putting them in these bags right here was a really great idea. Also, the holes in these handles are nice and big, so if you like to hang your pans, you're gonna have a lot more options as far as hooks and stuff like that go. And now we can just get these out of the way. There's our third lid. So this should be it for our lids. And that would be our 10-inch. Whoa, out of the way. Yep, same. You can see a seam right there. I guess that's not a big deal. I mean, they've got to join this ring someplace. It's just that normally they do a better job of covering that up, and there is kind of a slight indentation right here where the metal joins together. What? quality control maybe? I don't even know if you can see that. We'll know when I'm editing the video if you can see it or not. Other than that, it looks great. You know, I don't recall seeing that line on the other lids. Let me take a look here. Nope, it's there. And you know what? If I go look at my other lids from my other sets, it's probably there too. But I don't know why I never noticed that before. Bummer. Here's our next fry pan. There's our 10-inch. This is a very, very good looking pan. I really hope these hold up. I've always been kind of a sucker for good looking pans. And as far as non-sticks go, the only ones I've ever had that have really held up at all have been my Ninja Never Sticks. And those did get discolored on me a little bit, but they still work really great. But if we're talking about looks, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a non-stick pan that's this pretty. So kudos to Hexclad. They're making a good looking product at least. This could be the last of our fry pans. Okay, that's the big 12-inch fry pan. This one barely fits on camera. Again, no visible scratching anywhere. Rivets and everything are good. Handles are on there nice. There's no squeaking or rattling or anything going on. Digging it. That's all the equipment. Let's lay these out together so you can see them all. All right, here's all the pans laid out together. You got the 8, the 10, and the 12-inch fry pans. And you can see I got all the lids on these as well. And indeed, the lid for the 12-inch fry pan does fit right onto the wok back here. If I get these out of the way, you can see how much different the stature is between the fry pans and the wok. This is roughly twice as tall here. Honestly, when I picked up this set, this is the pan I was really looking forward to using, because the wok I have kind of stinks. So we'll find out how well this works. So before I let you go, we're gonna do a quick test. We're gonna take this small fry pan and we're gonna see exactly how well the non-stick surface does without any kind of help. What better way to test that than frying an egg on the thing, huh? So we're gonna do one fried egg with a little bit of butter, and then we're gonna try the same thing again with no butter at all. In fact, I'll probably do the no butter at all first. That way we know there's no remnants of any oils or anything on this pan helping it out. You're also gonna get to see how much noise these pans make on an induction cooktop. If you've ever used induction, you're going to know there's a little bit of a buzzing sound that goes on while you're cooking on them. That doesn't come out of your induction cooktop, it comes out of your pans. What that is the iron molecules vibrating, and that's actually how the pan heats up. It's not getting any heat directly from the cooktop. If you need an example, it's kind of sort of the way that microwaves work. Those also don't produce heat, they just vibrate the water molecules in your food, and all the friction is what makes the heat. Same thing here, except they're using the magnetic iron molecules in the metal instead. This we are going to use some pretty low heat. Hexclad does recommend using a little bit of oil in your pans, but we want to make this as difficult for the pan as possible, so we're just going to do it dry. I am going to let this preheat a teeny bit though. Okay, you can see a little bit of smoke here, so we're going to go ahead and put this egg on here. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Okay, how much effort is it going to take to get this off of here? It's sticking a little, it's not sticking that bad. We're sticking a little bit though. Alright, it did stick a tiny little bit. That's not too bad though. Yep, that looks pretty good. Nice over easy there. Let's try this out. It's good. So you got that bottom cooked pretty nice. So really, even though they recommend using a little bit of oil, which for the most part you're probably gonna do that, it still did a pretty nice job. If you were to use this on higher heat though, or if you weren't really careful, you'd very easily be able to stick this to that pan. And eggs are probably the biggest problem there is as far as sticking goes. Okay, test number 2. I originally was going to use a different pan since this one was still hot and I didn't want to wait for it to cool down. But I figured it was probably a better comparison if I used the exact same pan to recreate everything in the exact same way. Except this time I'm going to use a little bit of butter in it first. Now this should not stick at all like this. Oh, see that? In fact, if I just want to get this off and onto a plate, you see how easy that is? I don't know if you like fried eggs this dark. I love them this way though.
You serious?
And if you think that's overcooked, think again. Check this out. Woo, yeah, baby. I like that crunch. Granted, this is just a preliminary test, but so far, so good. Of all the popular cookware manufacturers, Hexclad is by far the most polarizing. Some people think they're the best pans they ever own, while others think they're the biggest waste of money in the history of planet Earth. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm really going to be putting these pans to the test to find out who's right. Once I get that done, I'll be back with a full product review. If you'd like a little bit more information about Hexclad pans, I do have an Amazon affiliate link to them down in the description of the video. If you buy anything through those links, I do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay 1 cent. Hey, Joe's Phenomenal now has channel memberships. For most people, you can see a join button down below the video window that you can click and see what type of perks I'm offering. If you're using an iOS device, you might not be able to see it, and if that's the case, I do have a link down in the description of the video as well. If you like this video, you might like this video right here where I unboxed a really great set of Ninja Everclad stainless steel pans. Those are really great looking pans, and the selection that you get for your money is really eye-opening. Well, that's it for now. I hope to see you back again here really soon, and until that time, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.